Dear students, today we are going to learn some methods to evaluate the limit. Existence of a limit of a function at a point x is equal to a. If limit extends to a plus f of x is equal to limit extends to a minus f of x is equal to L, then limit of the function f of x as x tends to a exists and its value is L and is represented as limit extends to a f of x is equal to L. Means limit extends to a plus f of x is the right hand limit and limit extends to a minus f of x is the left hand limit. So if left hand limit and right hand limits are equal, then we say the limit exists, and we can combinedly we can write limit extends to a f of x is equal to L. Now if both the left and right hand limits are not equal, then we can say the limit does not exist. And we are learning the limits of rational function. So while evaluating the limits of rational function, we must always check whether the denominator tends to 0. If denominator tends to 0, then we check whether the numerator also tends to 0. If both tend to 0, we have to study the function in detail. That is, we will factorize the function and see whether any factor remains in the denominator or numerator. Accordingly, we will write the value of the function. That means we have to check the case 2 that we have already learned in the last class. Now we can apply the direct method also. In some cases, limit extends to a f of x can be obtained by direct substitution of x by a in f of x also. Algebra of limits. The operations that we can apply in the calculation of limits are: first one, limit x tends to a f of x plus or minus g of x is equal to limit x tends to a f of x plus or minus limit x tends to a g of x. That means if the function is the sum or difference of two different functions, then we can find the limit or we can apply the limit separately for each function. Then multiplication also the same way. If the function is the product of two different functions, then we apply the limit separately for each function and then find the value of the limit by multiplying the limits of f of x and g of x. Now k into f of x. Limit extends to a k into f of x. K is a constant, so limit is not applied for the constant. So k is taken out and limit is applied only for the function f of x. So it is k into L, where L is the value of the limit extends to a f of x. And limit extends to a f of x upon g of x, that is quotient form. Then we will find the limit of f of x, then divide the limit of g of x. That is, we find separately, then divide the value. Now there are some points. Limit extends to a constant is equal to the constant itself, because the constant is free of x. There is no x, so we cannot apply the limit extends to a. So constant itself is the value of this limit. Now limit extends to a x is equal to a. That is, direct substitution also gives the value. So x is equal to a gives the value of this limit. Now limit extends to a x raised to n, then it is a raised to n. This to put x is equal to a in the function, then we will get a raised to n. Now limit extends to a rth root of x. That is, rth root of a we will get. Next, if p of x is a polynomial, then we know, we have already learned that limit extends to a p of x is equal to p of a. Now there is a theorem which can be used for the evaluation of the limit. That is, limit extends to a x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1, where n is the natural number and a is greater than 0. And this theorem, that is, we use this statement. Now this theorem can be extended for the negative and fractional index also. That is, if n is a negative number and fraction, then also the theorem is satisfied. That is, limit x tends to a, x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a is equal to limit x tends to a, x raised to minus m minus a raised to minus m upon x minus a is equal to minus m into a raised to minus m minus 1. That is where n is equal to minus m. And if n is a fraction, that is n is of the form p upon q, where q is greater than 0, then limit x tends to a, x raised to n minus a raised to n by x minus a will become limit x tends to a, x raised to p upon q minus a raised to p upon q upon x minus a is equal to p upon q into a raised to p upon q minus 1. Now let's solve the sums of exercise 7.1. Question number 1. Evaluate the following limits. First one, limit z tends to minus 3 root of z plus 6 upon z. Here the function is root of z plus 6 upon z. First we will substitute and see whether we are getting the denominator 0 or not. If it is not, we can directly apply the value z is equal to minus 3 and get the value of the limit. Here if you put minus 3 for z, then minus 3 plus 6 is 3. That is root 3 upon z is equal to minus 3 again. So root 3 upon minus 3, that is not equal, denominator not equal to 0. So that is direct substitution of the value z is equal to minus 3 gives the value of the limit. So root 3 upon minus 3 is root 3, minus 3 can be split, that is root 3 into root 3. And 1 root 3 can be cancelled, or you can keep this way also. Minus root 3 upon 3 also you can keep the answer. So minus 1 upon root 3 is the answer of this limit or value of the limit. Now question 1, third one, limit z tends to minus 5, 1 upon z plus 1 upon 5 upon z plus 5. Here we will simplify this function, that is by cross multiplying these numerator functions, that is 1 into 5, 5 plus 1 into z, z, 5 plus z upon 5z divided by z plus 5. So here 5 plus z can be cancelled from numerator and denominator, then the remaining function is 1 upon 5z. And then we apply the limit by direct substitution here. So limit z tends to minus 5, 1 upon 5z is equal to 1. This is a rational function. You can apply the limit for both numerator and denominator separately. So limit z tends to minus 5 of 1 and limit z tends to minus 5, 5z. So here z is equal to minus 5, then it is minus 25. And here 1 is the constant, so final value of this numerator is 1 itself, because there is no z in this. So we cannot substitute z is equal to minus 5 in the numerator. So 1 upon minus 25, that is minus 1 upon 25 is the value. Question number 2, second one. Evaluate limit x tends to 2, x raised to minus 3 minus 2 raised to minus 3 upon x minus 2. This is of the form x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a. So we can apply the theorem here where n is a negative number. So limit x tends to x raised to minus 3 minus 2 raised to minus 3 upon x minus 2 is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1. Here n is minus 3. Minus 3 into a is 2. So minus 3 into 2 raised to minus 3 minus 1, that is minus 4. And we simplify this. And we can take this 2 raised to minus 4 to the denominator, then it will become 2 raised to 4. So minus 3 into 1 upon 2 raised to 4. 2 raised to 4 is 16. So minus 3 upon 16 is the value. Now question number 2, fourth one. If limit x tends to 1, x raised to 4 minus 1 upon x minus 1 is equal to limit x tends to a, x cube minus a cube upon x minus a. Find all possible values of a. This is an application type question. So both these limits are equal. Then this is both the left and right hand sides are of the form x raised to limit x tends to a x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a form. So we will apply the formula or theorem here. Limit x tends to a x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a is nothing but n into a raised to n minus 1. So in the left hand side n is 4 and a is 1. So 4 into 1 raised to 4 minus 1, that is 3. And right hand side n is 3 and a as it is. So 3 into a raised to 3 minus 1 is 2. Now 4 into 1 cube is 4 and 3 into a square. Then a square is 4 upon 3. Then a is plus or minus root of 4 upon 3, that is 2 upon root 3. We will explain the remaining sums in the next video. Thank you.